Hey everybody, it's Break here, and the awesome Jupiter-8, and here is video 2 of the overview of Jupiter-8, and I'm going to be discussing the colored switches and what they do. Alright, and I'll try to show examples as well. Okay, I'm going to put this in whole mode again. Alright, I'll start with the right side here. Here's all the tape verify, save, and load, and data check switches here. This is dealing with saving and loading from tape. Here's the write and write protect LED there. And to turn this on or off, you actually use the switch back here in the back of JP. I don't know how you can see that there. It's right there. Okay. It's always good to have it on. And here are their patch presets. There's 8 here. And these are more like, they're used for quick recalling of patches. Like with this one here, I'm going to actually go to this one. This one is a split patch. So it's nice to be able to use these patch presets to quickly recall split patches or any patch basically without having to type in a couple of numbers as you're trying to play a song or a sequence or anything. Makes it a little quicker. Alright, here's the manual switch. This also deals with the encore MIDI, getting into MIDI mode and menus and things like that. But for right now, it is just acting as a manual switch, and that just means that it will put Jupiter-8 into manual mode so that you can have manual control over editing with its switches here. And then if you push it one more time, it will flash, showing you that it's in MIDI mode. And then all these parameters here, instead of this being the regular patch selection area, this is dealing with the bank A and B, and all the different MIDI parameters and arc clock, and everything else, assign and channels. Alright. And we're back in edit mode there. Gotta get back into our patch. Okay. And this is the general area where you choose your patches as well. So there's 11 through 88, or 64 patches, but they're written as like Bank 2 Sound 1, that kind of setup. Alright, and here's our LCD, nice and beautiful, and upper and lower in logical places. It also says that up here, but I just use where the numbers are placed to be able to tell which one is which. Also, if you're setting a split patch, this is whole mode. If you do that, if you don't have a patch already set here, actually I'll go ahead and I'm going to put that in there again. It will actually show you, instead of putting a number here, it'll just put 2 lines, and the 2 lines are basically waiting for you to put a number in. It's waiting for some input there. Alright, and the next set of switches we have are the panel mode, upper and lower. So right now it's upper only. This is lower. You can get into lower only with the split mode. Okay. Also, another thing to be careful of is if you're editing patches and you are in split mode, and you want to, say for example, you want to edit this patch and shorten the release time. If you do have this set to the lower one, or lower patch, and you don't remember that it's set to a lower patch and you start editing away, you'll be actually editing your lower patch instead. So it's kind of tricky to remember to check this and make sure that you really are on the one that you want. Also, when you do edit a patch, these 2 little dots will show up. As soon as you change anything that's different from how it's saved in memory, those 2 dots will appear, showing you that this sound has been edited. Okay. And then when you obviously enter back into your presets, they go away. Also, with the MIDI mode, when you get into the second category of patches, there will be a number in between these 2. I mean, a dot in between these 2 numbers, showing you that it's in the second set of patches. So there's 128 on here instead of 64 spaces. All right. And onto our light blue switches. There is key mode, dual split, and whole. Whole mode is obviously just 1 patch, and split is 2. They actually split here in the center of the keyboard. You can also change where the split point is, which is really nice. Because sometimes you might want an arpeggiator that uses all three of the C's. So you can actually change this to wherever you want. So you actually hold down the split key switch here, and then you press the key that you want it to start from, and it's easily set. And you can also set that, save it in your patch when you save it. Okay. Here's our hold switches. This is good for editing a patch as well as latching the arpeggiator. So I will set this to hold the upper one. Okay. So it will hold that indefinitely, and you can edit patches. Also, another thing which is nice to be able to do is, I'm going to go ahead and set my lower, oh yeah, right there. I actually thought that this was set on lower. There we go. Be tricky sometimes. Okay. And set that back to my 34, and there we go. So this patch is real short. It actually works very well for Arpeggiator. It's no sustain point, and a little bit of decay time, a very fast attack time, and no release time. Actually, that is, there we go, now it's correct. Okay. And so now I have a nice short patch. I'll go ahead and latch that. So now we have our arpeggiator at the bottom, strings on top. And make sure that's on lower, and I'm going to edit this. So you can make live edits to this. Alright. And there we go. So you can actually edit the arpeggiator as it's running. Alright. Here's our next section here, the white keys, white switches. We have poly 1 and 2, and unison and solo. Unison is obviously going to be much louder because all 16 oscillators running at once. Quite intense volume change there. Alright, and then we have our last section here, which is the arpeggiator. Gotta have that. And you can obviously latch it here with the hold switch. And you can choose one of these. So I actually have this. I'll watch that so we can hear. There's down. Let me set more keys here. Up and down. And random. Okay. We'll add a higher note in here. And there we go. You can also change the rate at this running, which is nice to be able to do that. Goes quite fast and quite slow. That's not even all the way down. Just an example though. Alright. Okay. And also these lights up here are obviously for the LFO, so it can be kind of confusing in the very beginning to remember that these are not the arpeggiator. It's just the LFO lights. Okay. And then we have our tune switch. And I'll go ahead and quickly ask it to tune. It only takes 3 seconds. And it's tuned. Alrighty, so those are the rainbow of controls there on the lovely and beautiful Jupiter-8.